Hi guys, Michelle here. Thought I'd do a little whip and chat. Just hold my plastic bag. There we go. My husband and my son had just left for a concert. They went to see Five Finger Death Punch and Marilyn Manson. So I'm home alone, which, you know, that's fine with me. I'll be home in diamond paint with my dogs, my aunt, my cats. Yeah, I'm just, after the work day, yeah, that's enough peopling for me. So yes, I am home. I had started this little section right here. I'm gonna try to finish this up tonight, and then I'm gonna start to work on my drills and chills. I'm doing which bedroom. So I'm like, yeah, get a little whip and chat going. Why not? All right, this is Dreamer Designs. It's a big one. Gosh, what is this one called? Oh my goodness. I think Woodland Panorama. Yeah, it's a pretty good size one. So just today is, what is today? Tuesday. I can't even, and I'm like, okay, it's been already a long work week, and I don't know. It's like it's only Tuesday. So tomorrow we got meetings. It's like the kids don't have school tomorrow because we have one of our professional development days, is what they like to call them, where we all get together as a district and yeah, sit there and, you know, get to listen about, you need to do this and you need to do that. Yeah, those are always so much fun. But, you know, at least it only happens, is it 4 times? I think it's like 4 times a year we have to get together as a district and have these wonderful meetings, and it's just like, okay. So yeah, and then it's supposed to be like 9 to noon, and then we're supposed to go back to work for like, I don't know, 3 or 4 hours, whatever, you know, and it's like, okay, there's no parents, there's no kids. You know, you would think they would just be nice and, I don't know, let us have the rest of the day, you know, to go home. I mean, which of course we can if we want to use our own time, but I'm like, you know, I don't get paid much. You know, it's always a story working at a school, but that would just be a nice little added benefit. You know, if they would just do stuff like that. But, you know, like, okay, whatever, it is what it is. So yeah, I got that going on tomorrow. And I don't really like going to the district either because it's like close. I have to go further towards Phoenix, and I just do not. The closer you get to Phoenix, the crazier the drivers get, and I just do not like it. It's just crazy. I don't know. Like, nobody has road etiquette, or it's just like, I don't know, you know, you gotta watch out for everybody else, and people are just nuts. Like, they speed around you, you know, and I don't drive like a grandma, you know, like, I mean, by no means, you know, I do not, but then you always have those people that just like don't care, and they whip in and out between cars and barely leave any room, and just like, oh my God, what are they doing? Like 100? Like, what the heck? But yeah, it's just like it gets crazier the closer you get to Phoenix, and, you know, of course the traffic gets heavier, and I'm just like, oh my gosh, just way too many people, and I'm just not. Yeah, it's just not me. Not for me. I would be perfectly happy living in the country somewhere, going to town once a week or something. You know, I'm definitely not like in the city. But yeah, I always tell my husband I would like to live in live in the Smoky Mountains or something, you know, just surrounded by nature. And oh, that did not go down right at all. Just surrounded by like nature and, you know, animal and forest and trees and greenery and streams, like, you know, little log cabin. That's my ideal. I would love that. Just away from all the people and the drama, and yeah, just slow down and enjoy life. That, oh, sorry about that. My phone's having a issue here. All right, phone, are you going to behave? My little wallet flap, I might have to flip it up. But, yeah. It's going to be stubborn. Let me see. I need to find something to put that up, or it's going to keep being annoying. I'm sorry. Let me pause for a second and fix this. Okay, I'm back. Hopefully that will fix the little phone flap. All right. So where was I? I don't remember. Just, yeah, being in the mountains, surrounded by nature and animals and away from people and drama and just, you know, life slowing down. Get to actually enjoy life. And not just feel like, you know, wake up, go to work, pay bills, wake up, go to work, pay bills. And it's like, oh my gosh. It's like, I'm actually looking forward to being retirement age. Just because, like, I don't know. It's just, it really is such a rat race. And time goes by so quick. Like, my son's already a senior. I'm just like, where did time go? Yeah, it's just, oh my gosh, just can't believe it's already like, God, we're already in September. Like, before you know it, it's going to be Christmas, and his birthday is the day after Christmas, and then, oh my God, I don't even want to think about, you know, then here comes tax season, and we always end up having to pay in, so not a fun time for us. Apparently we don't get taxed enough out of our checks, even though they take a nice chunk, but, you know, something everybody loves, right? Okay, let's get off that. I don't want to talk about stressful subjects, but anyways, yeah, I'm trying to think what else is going on this week. Temperatures are still very hot. I know it's supposed to be like, you know, I love fall season. I just wish I was actually somewhere where it felt like it was fall. You know, we're still like over 100 degrees every day, and just, yeah, like, usually weather doesn't start to really be nice around here to where you can actually enjoy outside until, gosh, what is it? It may start cooling down next month in October to where it's actually like below 100. And I mean, but I need it to be, I'm one of these people that I like 70s, 80s tops, you know, and that's with a nice breeze. I get hot really quick. And then the sun's always shining so strong that right there just heats everything up. So, yeah, I know. Wrong state. Oh my goodness, yes. Not my ideal state, but, you know, we're stuck here at the moment. So, yeah, you know, weather. It's always the topic around everybody's mind, it seems like, around here. Like, when's that we keep breaking records and keeps getting hotter and hotter every year? What is going on? I think it's just so many people are moving here. I don't know. But, yeah. So, let's see. Husband and son are, yes, went to, you know, the concert, and here it is Tuesday night. I was like, I know they really wanted to go see it, like, okay, but I told my husband, I'm like, you know, you should really take half a day off or something just to get home in time, because he has been getting home so late. here lately, and I'm just like, how are you gonna make that? And like, I'll make it. I'm like, oh my God. So here it is. Like, I think the concert started at 6:30, and it's like 5 o'clock. Still not home. You know, look at the little we have that Life 360 where we can see where each other's at. And, you know, oh, he's just leaving Phoenix on to come home. And I'm like, oh my gosh. And we live like, it's probably like a good 45-minute drive from Phoenix, from, you know, to where we live. So I told him, I'm like, why? But, you know, he doesn't listen. He thinks he's Superman. And, no, I can make it. I can make it. And, oh my gosh. I'm like, you know, whatever. Yeah, I don't want to get in. It's like getting in an argument with him. Like, just, it doesn't always have to be like work first, you know. I understand he's a main breadwinner, and you know, because he definitely makes some money in the house. Like, I work for a school. I make like pennies, you know. And I understand, you know, he feels he has that responsibility on him, but I'm like, sometimes it just gets really annoying, because I'm like, oh my God, you're always at work. Like, you know, we have my son that misses him. I forget what he looks like sometimes. You know, we have animals that Bella, our German Shepherd, she is such a daddy's girl. You know, so she gets really happy when he comes home, and then he's the one that's more playful and help like roughhouse with her. So yeah, you know, it's like, but you know, then he's like, oh, it's only, you know, we're having a good month, and we got to make up for the crappy month last month. And oh my God, he just, I'm like, okay. But then at the same time, I got to keep reminding him, I'm like, you know, time goes by so fast. And our son is like I said, he's a senior this year. He's going to be 18 in December. Before we know it, he's probably going to be not even living in the house and at college or something. They're already like, you know, he's already put in for some scholarships, and which, I mean, I'm glad. I want him to, you know, be independent and, you know, do all these things. But at the same time, it's like, time's going by so fast. And I know I'm just going to be a hot mess the day that he's like, oh, I'm moving out and in a college dorm, or whatever he decides to do. You know, it's just like, I'm like, oh my God, I don't even know. Like, I think I'm probably going to have to be diamond painting even more to keep every second of my day, my brain busy, because I can't. Like, he's our only child, and like, we built our whole life around him. So it's like, that's going to be so tough. I'm just like, I don't even know how I'm going to deal. I know even now when he has trips where, like, if he goes to youth group for, you know, like 2 or 3 days, like a weekend or whatever, you know, those night, like where he's gone overnight, I'm just like, it just feels so weird. And I'm like, where's my son? You know? Yeah. And I mean, I know he's fine and having fun and doing things that he loves, but it's just like, and I want him to do that. It's just, I don't know. I just feel so like he doesn't need me anymore. And I'm just like, oh my gosh, he's been our main focus. Like, you know, when he came along, it was just such a blessing. We had actually started looking into, okay, you know, exactly how much does this adoption cost? And, you know, I know we had looked into it before because it was just so heartbreaking. We always wanted, you know, kids, and my body just didn't want to act right. And I had like 2 miscarriages. So, and just, yeah, just my body not acting right. And so, oh my gosh, I need to do something about the putty in this pen. I mean, there's a lot of putty, but things keep dropping. So drills keep dropping, not things. But, yeah, anyways. Yeah, we were going to a specialist and everything to try to see, you know, like, and then it's weird because when I finally got my insurance to approve to go to the specialist, they take blood tests and they're like, oh, you're already 4 months pregnant. And I'm like, what? Like, talk about a giant shock. I mean, I didn't know because my body's just wacky. I could never time anything by my periods. I know that's probably TMI, but yeah, I'm just one of those that, you know, those women that get them every month and they could set their watch by them. That's not me. I'll go months and months without one. And yeah, because my body just likes to be crazy like that. But anyways, yeah, he had said, yeah, you're 4 months. And I'm like, what? And I was like overjoyed, but didn't want to believe it. And I was scared because I was like, oh my God, you know, what if I have another miscarriage? Because like, just had such a bad track record with it. And I was so careful. Like, I was just, you know, which I was before, but I was just, oh my gosh, I was just so scared it was just going to end in a miscarriage again. And then when I finally got, you know, past like I forget what they say, like if you get past this trimester, this many months, you know, you're pretty much safe. And, you know, it's such a relief. But, yeah. So, yeah. So when he was born, and his name, you know, the meaning of his name, Nathan, literally means blessing, which he is our blessing. And then his middle name is Antonio, which means worthy. So you put it together and it's like worthy blessing. And it's like so fitting because, yeah, he is such a big blessing to us. And he is such a good kid. I mean, I'm not, you know, I'm not saying he's perfect. No kids are perfect. But oh my gosh, man, let me tell you, I work in a high school and some of the things that I see and just hear, and then I'm like, I look at my son and I'm like, oh my God, I'm so blessed with him. Just, yeah, it's crazy. The situations and just some of the stuff that you hear with these kids these days and stuff they say and do, and you're like, you're how old? Definitely a different generation. So yeah. Gosh, I feel like I got completely off. I don't know what the heck I was talking about that even led to that. Oh, that's church. Oh yeah, just ended up being home alone when he goes off to college or whatever he's gonna do. Yeah, that's gonna be so hard. Just thinking about it, I'm like, I want to cry and I mean, I feel for my husband too, because like tonight, you know, they went to a concert and they do so much stuff together because they got so much of the same likes, you know, they like the same music, they like the same scary movies, you know, they do a lot of father-son things together. So my God, it's like, I keep telling my husband, I'm like, you're gonna have to figure out some sort of hobby, something. I don't know. I mean, I think it's gonna, yeah, I think we're gonna, I mean, yeah, I don't see us being the type of couple that can like stand being around each other 24/7, you know, without our son. And, you know, and with us, it's, I mean, I love my husband very much, but God, I can only handle so much of him. He kind of drives me crazy. I'm like, oh my God, you're like a little kid and so needy. And I don't know, you guys. I'm just, like I said, I know I'm gonna be a hot mess, and I worry about my husband a lot because, like, he's just so used to doing so many, you know, boy things together with him, and it's definitely going to be, but gosh, that age is like right around the corner. Like he's just, it's like, oh my God, you're already applying for scholarships? I'm like, what? You know, like, yeah, they're having a college fair at school. I'm like, oh my God, this is just happening way too fast. So yeah, you know, so there's those thoughts. And then, and I kind of feel like I need to change the lighting in here. I feel like my hand's like in so much of the shadow. And let me see what else. Oh my gosh. Oh, Friday. My dog, our big Bella, our German Shepherd puppy, she's like 10 months right now. She kind of started limping last week a little. Like I thought she was just, because she would put one paw up like when she wanted to go outside and my husband to take the little laser light because she likes to chase it outside when it gets dark. You know, I thought she was just like starting to beg. I'm like, okay, you know, you go by the treat thing. She put her paw up. I'm like, okay, wow, this dog learned how to beg. So okay. But so that's what I thought, like for 2 days, you know. And then like Friday I come home and, you know, my son says, because he doesn't have school on Fridays. His school is a charter school that goes 4 days a week. So, and I work at a public school where we're 5 days a week. But anyways, shoot, come on. I get home and my son's like, yeah, she's like limping and like, I'm like, what? Like more. So I'm like, and we already, like the night before, I kind of asked my husband, I'm like, you know, can you help me? Like, I want to look at her paw to see if, like, I don't know, something got stuck. You know, and so, oh my gosh, that was like trying to hold her down because she did not want anybody touching her paw. Like, she was like, no, just not having it. So, you know, I have this little magnifying light here that I use for my diamond painting sometimes. And I did take the light and, you know what? I need to like put that other light. Let me pause you for a second. Okay, there we go. I switched my light, so hopefully it's not so much in the shadow now. Sorry, I gotta get a drink of water. So anyways, so yeah, we had, talking about Bella, we had, you know, tried to look at her paw and put it under this magnifying light. I'm like, man, we just didn't see anything. Like, I don't know, you know, but she definitely didn't want us touching it. So we're like, okay, well, I don't know, you know, and we are like, okay, I don't know. And we were thinking she probably just, we were thinking Thursday night that she probably just sprained it because she is like, she's crazy. She's a very hyper puppy. She's constantly like jumping and running around like a crazy lady. Like just, oh my gosh. So we're like, she probably just, you know, and I know some of her toys are hard. They're like these hard treat balls. You know, you shove treats in them and she'll bring them to you to throw, and then she'll like put her paw like right in the path. And I was like, man, I wonder if like the treat ball like, you know, hit her paw. Like, I don't know. I'm like, so, oh my gosh, I don't know why all this putty and it's still falling. But so yeah, so, you know, we're like, okay, we're just hoping, okay, we'll just watch it, you know. So yeah, anyways, when I came home Friday, my son was like, yeah, Bella's like limping more and not really being active like she usually is. And I'm like, oh my gosh, so I try to, I'm like, Bella, try to get her to, she just hides under the door and like whines, or under the door, under the bed, and whines, and like I can't get her to come out. And I'm like, oh my gosh, no. So I'm like, great. It's Friday evening. By the time I got home, it was like, I don't know, 4 something. And, I'm like, what vet? So I call my vet, and I'm like, you guys possibly, is there any way you can see her, like, tomorrow? You're like, oh, we're not open on Saturdays. The soonest we have is like a week out. And I'm just like, no, that's not going to do. And I tried calling a bunch of other vets around me and, trying to find Saturday ones. And even the Saturday ones were like, oh, we're booked out till, like, oh my gosh. So, and a couple places had told me, well, there's this animal emergency hospital. And I'm like, yeah, I've been there before. They charge a pretty penny. And I don't know. I've taken 2 of my dogs there before when they were like having issues, and they just did not. They ended up charging me a bunch of money, but didn't do anything or help, and that's frustrating when you pay so much money and they just want to, oh, well, we need more money because we want to do more tests and this test and that test. And then, when you do pay all that money and you do all those tests and they still don't come, oh, well, maybe it's like, oh my God. I mean, I know, I don't expect them to be psychic. And I know with dogs it's hard because, they're not like kids where they can, kids of a certain age can tell you when something's wrong. It's just like, oh my gosh, it just gets so expensive so quick. And yeah, this emergency place, which is like almost in Phoenix. Yeah, like I took my one dog there because she had just went blind for no reason, just all of a sudden. And me being the spaz I am when something happens with my animals. And of course, this happened on a weekend too, like, I was like, what the heck? Like, I was like, I swear to God, this stuff is always like on a Friday evening. It always happens, I swear. And like they did, oh my God, they did all these tests on her and, couldn't figure it out. Like, and it was a lot of money, just the appointment for the emergency appointment and the test. And, yeah, couldn't figure it out. They referred me to like, I don't know, she might possibly have glaucoma, but I mean, her sugars are fine. And she was the youngest dog we had at the time. Like, she wasn't even old. She was maybe like, she's a rescue we got, and she's like, at the time, this was probably like 2 years ago. She was like 3, she's 3 years old, in human years. So I'm like, what the heck? But anyways, they couldn't figure it out. And then they wanted me to see an eye specialist. And apparently there's only like one on this whole side of the valley. So like they're booked out. And just for their appointment, it was like, oh my God, what was it, like 200 and something just for the appointment. And they tell you like, yeah, this is just the appointment. This doesn't include, just the exam, or doesn't include any additional testing. And I'm just like, oh my God, where did that go? Sorry, and I'm getting sidetracked here. I'm just like, I know that one somewhere. There it went. So yeah, so needless to say, I never scheduled that and made it to that because I was just like, I don't have that kind of money. I'm sorry. I love my dogs, but that's insane. So we were thinking like, okay, we just are probably going to have to get her, unfortunately, get her eyes removed if they're causing her pain. And of course my son was like, no, like, he's like, I just can't, see her like without eyes. And I'm like, I understand. I'm like, but if she's in pain, it's going to be cheaper to get her eyes removed than to go to a specialist. And yeah, so thankfully though, she has adapted really well. You couldn't even tell she's blind unless you look at her eyes, you know. But yeah, she gets around the house great. I still take her for walks. She does really good. She's a trooper, and we have not had to have her eyes removed. So she still has them, you know, thank goodness, because that was really like, I didn't want to do that either, but I don't want her in pain. So, yeah. So thank goodness she's a good, healthy dog. They just, for some weird reason, she went blind. And I paid a lot of money for them to tell me nothing. And then my other dog, so that was Natasha. And then we got Nacho and Natasha both at the same time, and they were both rescues. So we got them together. So they had kind of bonded, you know, because they were in the rescue together. But Nacho, on a Friday evening, like just completely just turned, I don't even know, like was fine. And then just like started to pee everywhere. And then threw up and didn't want to eat. Like all that. I'm like, what in the world? So just, I don't know. We had to like take Nacho outside to get him to go potty and try to feed him. And basically Nacho just got to where he just wanted to lay there and not barely get up. Like he barely had the strength. It was the weirdest thing. And so, you know, here I go to the emergency vet again. And I tell them like, what, like, I don't know, like just all of a sudden, like it was fine. There was no indication of nothing happening. And, you know, oh, you know, here we go with all the fees. And then they, well, we think that his symptoms, it seems like maybe his sugar's high or he's like diabetic. I'm like, okay. So they did test for that and for some other stuff because they thought it could be this or that. You know, of course, it can always be a couple of things, right? And they got to rule them all out. So they did that and they came back with their like, well, first they did the blood sugar where it's like, you know, kind of like when a human pokes, you know, their finger and sees what their sugar levels are. Then, so they did that on Nacho. And like, it was like some crazy, was that 400? I don't know. It was really high. Oh my God, where did that come from? I'm trying to get this little piece out of here. Let me get my tweezer. So I'm like, oh, okay. And they're like, did he get into trash? You feed him scrap? I'm like, no, we don't. You know, we don't feed them. Like once in a while, we'll give them like if we're eating chicken or, you know, stuff dogs can have that's not bad for them. Like, yeah, we'll do that. You know, chicken or rice. Like, I mean, I know the stuff you can't give dogs, and we don't give them like, you know, a bunch of fatty, bad, greasy food because I want my dogs to be okay. So apparently, yeah, Nacho, developed diabetes. And so they were like he was just not barely wanting to move, and they wanted to hospitalize him, which was going to cost me like $1,000 a day just for the hospitalization. And I'm like, I don't have that. Okay, I'm like, I can't. If I was a rich woman, I would, because I would do anything for my dogs. I mean, they're my fur babies. You know, I love animals. Like, I don't have that. I'm like, and you know, here I am crying again, you know, in the vet office. Like, there's got to be something. I'm like, please, you know, is there something, like, what can I do? And oh my God, the putty got on the canvas. I hate it when it does that. But so they were like, we can we'll send you home with basically what we would do here. So they sent me home with like a couple of saline bags, like that saline solution. They showed me how to stick like a IV type of needle in, And they told me like every so many hours, give him this much saline and then give him this shot and that shot, to try to lower the blood sugars. Like, okay, I'm like, yes, I'll do that at home. Even I absolutely hate needles, but I'm like, okay, I will do that, and just hope to God that I can get this under control, and yeah, and then go from there to try to figure out how, you manage a dog with diabetes. I'm like, what in the world? So did that, and here, this was on a Friday night when I rushed him to the emergency vet. And then all weekend, I was like, every couple hours, get the saline bag and the insulin shot. And there was some other, there was a shot to help with the nausea. Where was that? I just had it and I lost it. So yeah, every couple hours, and then I was like, okay. And they gave me enough for like 3 days, like, okay. So here, Monday, I'm like, I think I ended up calling in that day because I was like, I'm monitoring my dog. I told them what's going on. And of course, everybody at work was really understanding and supportive. And like, oh, yeah, no, take care. Because everybody at work, we all got dogs. We're all like, they're our babies. So, so Monday I stayed home. And then like Tuesday, I think it was like my son didn't go to school on Tuesday. So, because there was some sort of testing going on at Tuesday that he didn't need to take. So yeah, it was like one of those optional tests and he didn't need to take it. So he's like, Mom, can I still? I'm like, yeah, I'll go ahead and call you off. And because, he's like never misses school. So it's not like it's a huge deal. So I feel like I missed one. I'll probably see it after I put this color away. So yeah, I'm like, so I told the girls, because Nacho was still like not doing good. We're picking him up, taking him outside, trying to encourage him to walk around, go potty. I had actual insurers that I was trying to like vanilla insure, because I've had vets tell me that before. You try to get a syringe just to get some sort of nourishment in them, and just, yeah. So I was like, Tuesday I told the girls, I'm like, I'll be in a little bit. I want to run to Walmart and grab a couple of insurers and try to get Nacho to, take that. And then my son's home, so he can, watch Nacho for me while I go into work. I'm like, yeah, no, take care of your dog. You shouldn't even worry about coming in. I'm like, yeah, I know, but I only have so much sick time, and money doesn't grow on trees. Here I just spent all this money at the vet. So yeah, I did that, came back, trying to get Nacho to, get some down him, and then like, yeah, I was like a little bit like, okay, I'm gonna try to take Nacho outside, because it actually, Nacho started to have a movement, but he wasn't moving, so we're like, oh shit, let's take him outside. And yeah, like, I don't know, man, it just wasn't good. And so after that, brought Nacho back inside. When we were making him comfortable, we were like, okay, let's just, lay him down comfy on his little dog bed, and like, I don't know, something just like told me like, yeah, you need to stay home, because I was like, and I told my son, I'm just going to stay home, because I know my son's home, but this is a lot. And, yeah, they're like, yeah. So, I was trying to figure out which color I was going to do next. I think I'm going to go with this AB, this pretty AB. So, yeah. Nacho, like, not long after that, he just, you know, he ended up passing on us. And, like, I'm glad that I didn't go to work, because I'm like, then my son would have been home by himself, the dog passing away. And I'm like, yeah, you know, yeah, it's just, and you know, and it's like, it's just so frustrating, because again, you pay all this money at the vet, and oh my God, I'm totally putting that on the wrong symbol, you guys. I'm putting that on the plus, and it needs to go on the, jeez. Okay, so, excuse me while I just scoot these around, because I put them on the wrong symbol. Oh my God, I hate it when I do that. Sometimes I'm like, what am I doing? Okay, so let me get my tweezers, actually. And of course, you know, to do this with ABs, where I really don't like to move them around, because, you know, the AB coating. Get off of there. So you're going to go here. So that, you know, back to the story. That is just, well, yeah, that's why I don't like that bit. It's just, we have not really had some good, I don't know. I mean, I guess it's just the nature of the beast with the vet, but it's just like, man, you pay so much money, and it's like to not get an answer, and then your dog passes away anyways, and you paid so much money, you know. And so anyways, so, you know, back to Bella and her paw. I'm thinking, oh my God, here it is, a Friday again. And like I said, I mean, I know, God, something happens and I end up spazzing. I'm like, oh my God, you know, no vet can see her. So anyways, I ended up building a walk-in clinic in the same town as me. And a couple of the vets had told me about, like, well, there's, you know, you can try the walk-in clinic, and they're open till 9. And I'm like, okay. So I called them, and they're like, yeah, we're open till 9. And they told me their prices, and it was like double the price of the vet visit. I'm like, okay, you know, because you're paying for convenience. So, you know, I take her. And I have my son go with me, and he helps, because I'm like, I don't want her jumping in and out of the car, because obviously, like, something's going on with her paw, you know. And she's heavy. She's like, she's over 75 pounds. She's a big girl. So, you know, we go, and of course, it's like a walk-in for a human. You're sitting there waiting and waiting and waiting. I'm like, oh my God. And there was only one other lady in that room that her dog had already been taken back. But it was just like, but you know, there's nothing worse than sitting there waiting when you're like stressed and worried about, you know, your animal or your kid. Like, it's just like, I'm like, God, you know. So we were in there waiting and waiting. Anyway, so then they take her back. And they're like, well, we're going to get some vitals, and then we'll bring you back. I'm like, okay. And oh my God. And then we waited more than we were waiting before. And I was just like, I was like, oh my God, I'm going to scream, and I'm just going to start throwing stuff in this place. Like, I was getting so irritated. I'm like, what is going on with my dog? Like, I could hear her, you know, in the back, like barking. And I'm just like, what? Like, why can't I be back there? Like, what are you doing to my dog? What, you know, like, you know, she's like one of my babies. No, like, what the heck? So I was getting so irritated. And I know my son was like trying to, you know, talk about random things, because he could see I was like getting irritated and trying to keep me calm. And I'm just like, oh my God, I'm like, I don't have the patience for this. I just do not. Like, definitely, as I have gotten older, my patience level has definitely worn down. I'm just like, I cannot deal with this. I'm like going to start just throwing papers, or I'm like, I was so irritated, man. I'm like, I don't just, oh. So, thank goodness, like, they finally, oh my God, I don't understand this putty right now. I got it on here. It seems fine, but then it still drops it. Okay. So then, they finally bring it, like, okay, take us back to the room she's in. Okay, the doctor will be in a minute. And, of course, their minutes like 30 minutes, really. And so the doctor comes in and, tells us all this. Well, want to know when we noticed it and, all the stuff that they ask. And like, so we were telling her, and she was like, oh, interesting. And I'm just sitting there like, what is interesting? I'm like, what is going on with my dog? Just stop beating around the bush. And what is going on? Like I'm already like, just, like wanting to throw something. Oh my God. And I totally just lost this. I'm like, I just saw the other bow tie that I had lost before. I really need to do that hack where I saw somebody there, like they put tweezers where it is so they don't lose the spot. And I just totally lost the spot. What the heck? Okay, you know what? I'm just going to put this over here to the side because I know I'm going to see it again. I'm be like, oh, there it is. Okay. Anyway, getting frustrated because she's, what the heck? She's asking 5 million questions, and I'm just like, we've been there so long. I'm like, what is going on? What is wrong with my dog? Like, she's like, well, she wouldn't let me, I couldn't really, manipulate it much because she didn't want me to touch. I'm like, yeah, it hurts. She doesn't want anybody touching her paw or whatever's going on. And then she's like, okay, so I suggest we do, x-rays and, what? I can't even think of the word right now. X-rays, and they wanted to, anesthesia, not anesthesia, or maybe it was anesthesia. I don't know. But they basically kind of wanted to sedate her to be able to like touch her paw, look at it real good, x-ray it, be able to, without her fighting back. And, so I'm like, yeah, like, okay, well, yeah, I'm like, I want an x-ray too, because I want to know, what's going on. And I'm like, what? And then the doctor starts telling us about all these different things it could be. Like, it could be this and this, and, all these big names. And then, how it's like when you go to a regular doctor and they like to scare the crap out of you, right? Like, it's, all these big names, and it could be this disease or that disease or this disability, or like, I'm like, oh my God. I'm like, instead of sitting here scaring me with all these things it could be, like, I just want to know what it is. And so she's like, well, we need x-rays, and then I suggest we get some blood work to rule this and this out, and then there's this test to rule this and this out. And I'm like, oh my God. I'm like, okay, well, how much is this going to cost, So she's like, oh, well, I'll have my assistant get the estimate and get back to you. Like, okay. I'm like, oh my God. And so that took, like, I swear to God, like another 30 minutes for the assistant to come in the room with the, they call it a treatment plan. Oh my God. I cannot tell you. I think my eyes might have actually popped out of my head. Okay. I was thinking, okay, x-rays and, have to IV sedate or whatever. I'm thinking, okay, with the vet appointment, the cost of that, I'm thinking like I'm probably looking at around $500, right? $1,500. I was like, what? I like, yeah, I think my eyeballs just popped out of my head and my mouth fell on the floor. And I was just sitting there like, what? How? What? What? Yeah, it just, like, I couldn't comprehend. I'm like, that says 4 digits before the decimal. I'm like, What? Oh, found that bow tie. Okay, right there, right there, right there. Don't want to lose it again. So yeah, and oh my God. So they had all these tests on there, and just like the fee just to put the IV in, they were gonna charge like flipping $80, almost $90 just for the IV administration fee. I'm like, what? And then the stuff to like knock her out or whatever, that was gonna be like $300 by itself. And then the x-ray by itself was like almost $600. I'm just like, what the hell? I'm like, so even if I just wanted to be like, can I just have the x-rays? Like that right there was just gonna be what, 6, 3, that's 9, plus to administer the stupid IV, like we're at 1,000, plus the appointment, which was like $125. So I'm like, wow. So basically the other $400 was like these 2 different tests they wanted to run and blood work to rule something and something else out. And I'm like, I couldn't even, I was speechless. I was just like, what? I'm like, what the? And thank goodness, the girl that had brought the paper in, I don't know, I just remember asking questions, being like, I can't afford that. And she was like, well, she's like, what you could do, she's like, we can send you home with some medication to reduce the swelling, and like a pain medication. I think like one of them was gal was something, I don't know, a lot of people know about it. I think that was the pain, but one of them was to reduce swelling and the other one was for like pain management. And because they said that there was some swelling. I didn't really see any, like maybe a little swelling, like nothing like where you really had to like look at both of her legs and be like, maybe that paw pad looks a little bit bigger than the other. But I don't know if that just because she wasn't putting all her weight on it, because when she puts her weight on it, her pads, they look like they're squished down more. So I'm like, okay, I'm like, well, how much is that? I'm like, well, yeah, what's that? So you're like, well, let me go get this. And I'm thinking, oh crap, here we go. Another 30 minutes before they come back with an estimate. But, she, like, I don't know, it was only like about 15 minutes this time. So she came back with the estimate and the meds, and because I was like, well, can I get do you guys fill that here? Do I have to go to have to find a fill? They're like, no, we fill it here. I'm like, okay, yeah, like, let me do that. Like, so she comes back and, so the medicines ended up being like $100 for both of them. I'm like, okay, which is still high for 2 medicines, but it's a heck of a lot better than $1,500. And, when the lady too that had come in with the estimate, she was telling me about, how Bella was, she's so beautiful. She loved German Shepherds, and she had like oh my gosh, she said she had a 4-month-old at home, so she understands how hyper they are, because they're telling me to like keep her calm. I'm like, keep her calm? Are you, yeah, no, she's a hyper ball of energy. There's keeping her calm. So yeah, keep her calm. I was like, we're trying, you don't want her jumping, and like she's always jumping on and off my couch. Like she runs and jumps outside. She's very hyper and active. Trying to keep her calm is like very hard. But I understand, it's like, it's like with us when we do something, to like, if we sprain or fracture something, we need to chill out on it and, take it easy. I'm like, yeah, and, I'm going to try. I'm going to try to like But man, she's like a hyper puppy. So anyways, the lady was like, yeah, you know, she understood, and she had a 4-month-old German Shepherd at home, and but she was like giving me a lot of useful information for, you know, German Shepherds and their breeds, and like things to look out for. And, you know, she was telling me like a lot of times that when their bones grow so fast, it's kind of like, it's almost like growing pains. She's like, that could totally be it. And it's just something that she kind of has to deal with for, you know, a couple of weeks until that growing pain is over. They had like an actual fancy name for it, though. I don't remember what it was. But she's like, you know, there's that. And she's like, there is something else that, you know, but she's like, you know, she's like, yeah, but, you know, hopefully it's just, you know, she just sprained it. And with this pain medication and the other medication to reduce swelling, you know, hopefully it will clear up on its own, and, you know, that will just be it. And she, you know, she's like, yeah, you know, just do this, give her the medicines, and if it doesn't clear up or gets, you know, they're like, if it gets worse, if she does this or that, call us right away, you know, like vomiting and the black stool, and like, yeah, okay. But they're like, you know, if she doesn't, her limp doesn't get better, she's like, just try to get in with your regular vet, you know, and maybe have them run these tests and stuff, because of course their prices aren't going to be as high as ours, because we're like a walk-in type of emergency thing, so our prices are higher. I'm like, yeah, you know, that makes sense. So yeah, I'll definitely do that. You know, if it doesn't get better, I'm going to make an appointment with my regular vet and you know, have them do all that stuff. So, you know, I felt better after she had, you know, she was really sympathetic, and like I said, she knew the breed really well, and she had the breed, and she was like, you know, she's like, you know, it's probably, you know, we'll just hope. I'm like, yeah, I'm just hoping that, because like I said, she does play like, and I know that that treat ball we have, that is, it's a hard treat ball, you know, you shove treats in it, you know, and she likes to bring it to us, so we roll it to, so try to get the treats out. And she'll like just like jump in front of it and get in the path. So I'm thinking like maybe it got her paw just right. Like, I don't know. I was just hoping, I'm like, God, I hope it's just something like that. Or they're like, you know, it could have been, you know, sometimes that they just land wrong. Cause you know, she is jumping everywhere. Like, she's a hyper crazy dog. I'm like, yeah, I really hope so. Cause all this other stuff they're talking about, I'm just like, oh my God, like I don't need, I mean, nobody needs anything happening with her, but I'm just like, it's just, I mean, we lost Nacho, like, what did I say? Bella's 10 months old. So we got her when she was 6 weeks old. You know, we found her in an ad for Craigslist. And we weren't really going to get another dog because we have Bella, our little Chihuahua, and we have Natasha. And after Nacho had passed, like that was rough. And we're like, you know what? It's like, you know, you feel like you're replacing them and you're not trying to do that. And we weren't going to get another. We were just like, okay, you know. But then, like, okay, Nacho was like. Nacho was an overgrown Chihuahua, I swear. He was a big Chihuahua. Like the biggest Chihuahua I've ever seen. Like a tan Chihuahua, just big Chihuahua. He was mixed with something. I don't know what. Like I said, he was rescue. But he was like our guard dog. Like he would be the one that would, like, if he heard anything, he'd be like, ruff, 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 just like, you know, crazy barking. So people definitely knew there was a dog in the house, right? So, gosh, like, I want to say, like, just a couple weekends after Nacho had passed, my husband went in the back, yard and found, one of the, like, the poop bucket that he has, like, a 5-gallon bucket out there that he uses to pick up the poop, right? And, you know, put the poop in there to dump it in the trash. Like, it was turned over and somebody had stepped on it, and there was like a perfect footprint that was like going through the bucket. So we're like, what in the world? Somebody was in our backyard. Yeah, because that bucket was right up against the fence. So, like, somehow they got in the yard. And then they must have stepped on the bucket to get back out of the yard. And it just made us feel really uneasy. We're like, somebody is in our backyard. And, you know, little Luna, she's a little chihuahua. She'll yap and stuff. But, and Natasha, like, she tries. She barks. She's definitely has supersonic hearing now because she's the one that lost her vision. But, you know, she can't see what's going on. You know, and I do remember, like, that weekend on a Saturday when I was home by myself, Natasha just started barking like crazy. But she was, like, standing in the hallway barking. I'm like, what is wrong, Natasha? And I'm thinking when she was doing that, just barking, she heard something. That must have been, like, when somebody was back there. Like, my husband and son, they were out. I think they were kayaking or something. I don't know. They were out doing something that they like to do. And I was just home with the animals. And yeah, she was like losing it. So after that, and then too, like the house, there was a house in the same neighborhood, like just in the next cul-de-sac area, that was on the news a couple nights before because he had shot somebody that went in his backyard. Like, it was like in the wee hours of the morning. And you know, this is what was in the news. And I guess he had told it was a teenager to like stop. Like, and the teenager just kept heading, because he opened the back door because he noticed him. And he's like, what are you doing in my backyard? And, you know, like, stop or whatever. And the teenager just kept heading towards him and stopped. So the guy, you know, homeowner, shot him. Didn't kill him, like he was injured, but it was in the news and it was just like right down the street. So I'm like, okay, between that and between evidence of somebody in our backyard, I was like, my husband's like, okay, we need a guard dog. Like, Nacho was our dog that was the guard dog. That was the dog that would go out there, and I mean, yeah, it was just an overgrown chihuahua. She's a pretty big chihuahua, but just her bark, you know, at least that would alert us and stuff. But so we're like, yeah, we need this. It's getting, more people are moving here. It's getting more crazy. I don't know. So that's when we're like, you know what, we need another dog. That's for yeah, just too much stuff going on. So that's when we're like, I always had a weak spot for German Shepherds. My grandfather, oh man, I missed one right there. I missed a couple. Okay. Yeah, my grandfather always had them and loved them and had them for guard dogs and swore by them. And so, and I, you know, but you know, you do have to have time and a yard for them. Like, they're a high energy dog. And so we're like, you know what, we got a yard. I mean, it's not a huge yard, but it is a big, you know, it's a decent sized fenced-in yard. You know, we'll have to, you know, be active, take our own walks and stuff. And you're like, yeah, like, well, we got to commit to this because this is getting craziness around here. We need something that's going to protect us, because I don't want to be on the news next for shooting somebody because, yeah, I can have my dog bark at him. So yeah, that's how we got Bella, because craziness in this world. But anyways, yeah, so she's been on those meds. She is getting better. She's not limping, like, just a little bit. I just noticed, like, not really limping, but you could tell she doesn't really want to put like a whole lot of weight. But then sometimes she'll run and she'll jump like nothing's wrong. So it's like, okay, are you just playing us now, or what's going on? But she's definitely eating, drinking, hyper, playful. But, you know, we're still not like, I have not been taking her on walks in the morning because I want her to chill and rest. Yeah. And like, we're not encouraging her hyperness. She's hyper, but we're not like, you know, excuse me, throwing balls and having her fetch and all the stuff like that. So, she is getting better though, thank goodness. I was like, oh my God. So yeah, it had to be where like she landed on it wrong, or maybe like I'm thinking that hard treat ball like just got her right. Darn it, there's another one. Right in the right area. That, okay, hold on. It, like, when I see one that I missed, I'm like, oh my God, I've got to get it. It just, I don't know, it just drives me nuts. So, thank goodness, you know. Yeah, she's got like another day's worth of, the medicine. So, but yeah, I can definitely tell she's got better. So, you know, that's a big relief. And, oh, excuse me. So, yeah, I'm very thankful for that, because I was like, oh my God. But yeah, these bed prices, man, I'm just like, they are outrageous. Just, geez, like, I really need to look into pet insurance at this point, because, and then I wonder if you buy a pet insurance, if it's just for one. Oh my gosh, there's more than I missed. Is it just for one dog, or you gotta buy insurance for each dog? Like, I don't know. I need to look into it, because it's, for real, just, you know, just like, dang, man. And I already know I'm gonna have a big vet bill coming up soon, because, you know, we were advised that when she turns 1, that would be a good time to get her spayed, because, you know, they're finding less and less problems with the bigger breeds, especially. If you wait till they're definitely, you know, they're full grown, like around 1, you know, especially German Shepherds, they get hip dysplasia. Oh, I just put that away and I just saw this up here. Oh my God. You guys are probably like, you are crazy. So, yeah, I know I'm going to have that nice size vet bill soon, but yeah, that's something that we got to have done, because, yeah, I got to get her spayed. I don't want to deal with, I can imagine her going into heat with her being a big dog. That would be such a huge mess. Yeah. And I'm not one of these, you know, like, I don't know, man. If she had puppies, I'd be like, I don't want to get rid of them. I'd want to keep them all, and I'd really be like the crazy, crazy dog lady, you know? I'd have more dogs, and I don't know. Like, if I had a house big enough and all the money in the world, I would have a huge house and sanctuary for animals, because I love animals. And they're just so innocent and loving, and they love us unconditionally, you know, and I don't know, I get really, some people just really treat animals like crap, and, you know, I hate that. I absolutely hate it whenever you hear in the news, or you even see, like, people, like, treating their animal like crap, or, you know, dumping their animals, and it's just like, oh my God, I don't even know how somebody can even do that. Like, what is wrong with you? That just makes me so sick and so mad. Like, when you know, stuff happening to these little babies and these kids and animals, I'm just like, what in the, oh my God, like, what? You know, it's just, and there's been so much stuff in the news here lately too, with like, oh my, somebody beat up like a freaking 6-year-old and beat him to death. Like, I mean, it's telling you, it's just like, what is wrong with you? Like, what, how, I just, I can't, I don't know. I'm just like, how? Why? Like, what is going on in your brain that I don't know. It's just so sickening. So yeah, animals and babies and kids, I just like, I think there needs to be torture chambers for those people still. Honestly, we need the old medieval torture chambers, and don't just like, there's another triangle I missed. Give them like, it's like they get a little slap on the wrist, or, oh, you go to jail. Okay, they're still getting fed, and And no, those people, they need to be tortured. Like, it's just not, I don't know. All right, let me just finish up these teas. I don't know how long I've been recording for, but it's probably been like a while. And I know, like, when I did a longer video before, oh my god, it took like 2 days to upload. I mean, I don't know. There's probably some faster way to do it, but you know, I just like, I don't know, I just like diamond painting content, and I'm like, I'll just, you know, try it and, you know, see. I enjoy it. So I just thought somebody might enjoy, you know, seeing stuff I'm working on, or especially, you know, finishes, or I don't know. You know, I figured it couldn't hurt to try. So, and it really does, like, you know, kind of feel like somebody's kind of in the room with you, and you're kind of sharing, you know, the same passion for a craft, you know. So yeah, let me see. Oh yeah, I want to try to remember that one right there, but I see these teas. Let me get those teas knocked out. Well, I thought I was going to get more done than I have tonight, but no. I think I just need to change out my putty. I think that's why I was having issues. But then every time I think that, I'm like, okay, it's doing okay right now. I probably should have turned this light on this side on earlier. That seems to be helping a lot too. So, I don't know. Yeah, I don't know. I kind of feel like I'm gonna make myself a cup of coffee. I know it's late, but I love coffee. It's like, oh, excuse me. It's like no bad time for coffee, I swear. Definitely gonna get myself a coffee from somewhere tomorrow before I go to this lovely meeting at work. Probably stop at Dutch Bros. I'm like, got a new obsession with Dutch Bros. I'm so like, I didn't realize they had so many sugar-free flavor options, and they actually don't taste nasty. That's what, like, a lot of times, like the sugar-free, the creamers, like if I buy the sugar-free creamers, oh my god, I cannot stand the taste of the sugar-free creamers. It's just, ugh. But yet I like Diet Coke and Diet Pepsi and Diet Root Beer, like, but I don't know, sugar-free creamers, it just has that, I don't know, like that aftertaste flavor that I don't know, it's weird. And so, and I love coffee. So, and I know Starbucks, like, they just have the one, I think it's vanilla, that they can do sugar-free, and it's like, you would think Starbucks, being as big as a company as they are, would have more options. Like, I don't understand that. But anyways, like, I went through Dutch Bros one morning. Oh my gosh, I'm seeing more here now. Because it's on the way to work, and they'll have a line and stuff, but they get through their line like pretty quick. And you know, when I'm on my way to work, I don't have time to sit. Like, Starbucks line is like, oh my god, it's like you're waiting a while. But Dutch, like, I don't know, they get through it really quick. And they're like just on the opposite side of the street. So I usually like, okay, I'm just gonna stop in here, because I didn't have my coffee made up, and it was just one of those mornings where I'm like, oh my god, I'm just tired, I gotta get to work, and I'm like, oh my god, I forgot coffee. And I'm like, you know what, there's a Dutch, like, literally just turn right there. I'm like, you know, I'm gonna do it. So, you know, I did it, and they had, I think they had their pumpkin, it's like pumpkin brulee something they have. And I was like, you know, do you guys do anything sugar-free? And they're like, yeah. And they started listing off all these flavors. And I was asking, like, oh, does it, like, You know, does it have like that standard sugar-free, like really like, no, they're really, you know, and I know, you know, companies probably could be like, yeah, you know, they're not going to say their product is nasty. So like, you know what? I'm going to go ahead and try it. Like you know, I'm going to bite the bullet and try it. And, you know, I'm like, okay, yeah, yeah. And you know, something else, like the Dutch Bros people out here, like they're always like so knowledgeable on their products, which I love. Like you can literally tell them like, this is the type of drink I usually get from, you know, this coffee place or that coffee place. You know, can you like do your version? And they're like, yeah, we can add this and that. And like, they're like, I don't know, like I love that. So anyways, yeah, so they made that pumpkin brulee iced coffee type of drink for me. And oh my God, and sugar free. Like, it was good. It was good. And for me to like a sugar free coffee drink, like, I have not found a place yet where it's not like just like, ugh, got that nasty aftertaste, overwhelming taste. Like, so, oh my gosh, excuse me. And I even got my coworker, she likes the horchata drink that they have that's like where they can make that a coffee drink too. And I asked them, can you make that sugar free too? So I wanted to bring it to her so she could try it. And she was like, oh my gosh, she's like, I think I like this more than the regular one. Like it was so yeah, I'm like, man, whenever I can get Dutch Bros. But of course, you know, Starbucks has their pumpkin spice back right now, and like that is my weakness. I can avoid Starbucks, like nothing really like jumps out at me from them until pumpkin spice comes back. And I'm like, I'm all about it. I'm like, oh my God, pumpkin spice. I love pumpkin anything. And I know a lot of people like don't, but I'm one of those that I love pumpkin spice stuff. I love anything pumpkin. Pumpkin bread, those pumpkin chocolate chip cookies. Oh my God. Yeah. I do need to be careful though, because I can tell, like my body will tell me if I'm having too much sugar, and I'll get a migraine and stuff. And it's like, okay, it's my body telling me I need to stop. So yeah, but I think I hear coyotes outside. Coyotes and dogs. Yeah. So quiet in here right now. I'm used to having a WIP and chat go on in the background or something while I'm diamond painting. Right now I just hear like the coyotes and the dogs, and my dogs are like laying around me snoring, and you know. So yeah, I think I'm going to end this. I mean, like I said, I want to get more done. I'm going to finish this red. Oh, I missed some black right there. I'm always like, dang it, when I miss. What is going on over here? That black should be right there. Yeah, but yeah, so I hope you guys have a good night and a good rest of your week. Yeah. So I will chat with you guys later. Have a good evening. Thanks for keeping me company. Bye.